Hello everybody, my name is Cream Soda. Welcome back to another video. Today I'll be showing you guys Death Slinger's best add-ons, his worst add-ons, and everything in between. I will also be showing you a comparison between some of the sights on his weapons and why you might not want to use one weapon or why you might want to use another weapon. Because they do have differences. And then we'll go over some of the more minute things about Death Slinger's kit that might have changed within the last year or even the last couple months. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the add-ons. First up, we have the Eerie Coin. Eerie Coin is one of his top 3 add-ons. The only reason that it is not higher, it's in S tier. The only reason it's not higher as in it's not his best add-on is because it's map dependent. So on indoor maps it can be kind of hard. You can get value on indoor maps, but still. Anyway, next up we got the Hellshire Iron. Grants undetectable status effect when a survivor is speared and it lingers for 10 seconds afterwards. This add-on stinks. Do not use this add-on. It is the most worthless eerie add-on in the entire game. It's crazy the stark contrast between one eerie and another. You have arguably his best add-on, and for sure his worst add-on. So, just don't use it. It's not worth it. It could be funny and memey, sure, but it's not. It's not good. Next up, we have the Prison Chain. Increases the time it takes to break free by 10%. This is a C tier add-on. People are going to argue about it being higher than that, but honestly, you can outplay almost every tile in the game without it, and for that reason alone, it bumps it down for me. And then the times that you can't outplay, 9 times out of 10, you can't outplay them with Prison Chain either. So, for that reason, it's in C tier. Next up, the Gold Creek Whiskey. Reduce your tear radius by 8 meters during ADS. I'm going to get a lot of pushback on this. This is a D tier add-on. Death Slinger is already slow at 110. Giving him an add-on that encourages him to hold his ADS to get value is simply just not good. Because you move slower when you're ADS'd. And so if you're walking around ADSing trying to get value from this, you are wasting so much time. If you make a whole build around it, like monitor and abuse, the whiskey, some of his movement speed add-ons, like, yeah, sure, it's fun, gimmicky, and whatever. You can have a fun game or two with it, but overall, it's just not a good add-on in my opinion. It's not as bad as the Hellshire Iron, but it is not a good add-on. Next up, Bayshore Cigar reduces the stun duration when survivors break free by 0.75 seconds. This is his best add-on, in my opinion. Like, the Bayshore Cigar allows you to get so many hits that you otherwise would never get. It's great for zoning. If you have a survivor at a filler tile, you break the chain. If they try and leave, you're likely going to catch them. And then obviously if they stay there, well then you'll have the down very soon anyway. So, but it's good for more than just that. It saves a ton of time because the stun duration normally takes, I believe it's 1.5 seconds. So with the cigar, it's unbelievably powerful. Next up, the barbed wire increases mending time of survivors by 3.5 seconds. This is also D tier. This add-on, the Slinger doesn't apply enough pressure to multiple survivors for this to be a good add-on. On a character like Legion, mending time add-ons are good because Legion can injure multiple survivors and then chase one, and then all the other injured survivors have to go and mend, and that wastes more of their time. Whereas with the Death Slinger, you can't do that. You have to reload after every shot, so unless you're shooting somebody, hitting them, reloading, leaving, shooting somebody else, which I don't recommend you do because you're slow anyway. You're not really going to get value out of this. You're going to chase the person you injured originally. Obviously, situationally, it can be okay if they're grouped up and there's a certain survivor you want, I guess. But otherwise, it's a D tier add-on. Warden's Keys, second best add-on. Many people are going to say it's better than the cigar. It probably is, but I'm biased toward the cigar. I really love the cigar. But the Warden's Keys reduces reload time by 0.35 seconds. Sorry, not 3.5 seconds. This allows you to get back into chase after a missed shot faster, or just any reload add-on makes him so much better to play. Without a reload add-on, it is atrocious. Next up, we have the Wanted poster. Increase your movement speed by 3% while aiming down sight. Again, this is an F add-on. It's better than the Iron, just because you can pair it with the whiskey and get some value, but it is just terrible. Do not use this add-on. Unless the only time you want to use this add-on is if you're using the whiskey, and that's basically it. If you're not using the whiskey, you never want to use this add-on. You don't want to be ADSing with Death Slinger anyway. You don't want to hold your ADS because that gives survivors time to look at you, and you want to be unpredictable. You want to aim in and fire so they don't have time to react to what you're going to do. Next up, we have the tin oil can. This is an A tier add-on. Arguably S tier. Arguably. I really love the tin oil can. It reduced the cooldown time of missed shots with the Redeemer by 0.5 second. I strongly encourage anybody picking up Death Slinger or thinking about picking up Death Slinger to use these two add-ons together. The Warden's Keys and the tin oil can. It will make your game so much better. Your quality of life is great with these two add-ons. Slinger feels so good when you run these two add-ons together. Next up, we have the Honey Locust Thorn. Similarly to the Barbed Wire, though I think it's better than the Barbed Wire, so it's going to go in C tier. Spirit survivors breaking free from their Redeemers suffered from mangled for 70 seconds. So, again, similarly with the Barbed Wire and the mending time, you do not apply enough pressure to really let a survivor go. However, 70-second mangled, if you do let a survivor go, is more impactful than 3.5 second mend time. So for that reason, I do have it in C tier. I think you can get value out of this a lot easier than you can get value from the Barbed Wire. The Gold Tooth is probably there are two add-ons worse than Hellshire Iron, actually, and this is one of them. The Gold Tooth increases reeling speed by 5%. This add-on does nothing. This add-on, you will not. If you play without the add-on and with the add-on, you will notice nothing. And so for that reason, it's in F tier. It's so bad. Rusted Spike. Spirit survivors hit with their Redeemer suffer from mangled for 60 seconds. This one's going to go top of D tier. It's similar to the Thorns, but 10 seconds shorter than the Thorns. Next up is the Poison Oak Leaves. Increased mending time by 1.5 seconds. This is going to go at the... It's going to go in F tier. It's the Barbed Wire, but worse. So... Marshal's Badge reduces terrorists by 4 meters while aiming down sights. It's going to go in the bottom of D tier. I'm not a fan of having to ADS to get value from a perk. Or an add-on, rather. Next up, we have the Jaw Smasher. Increase your movement speed by 1.5% during ADS. Again, it's going to go right here in F tier. It's just... it's an okay, like, meme add-on, sure, but most of the time you just don't want to use this add-on. Next up, we have the chewing tobacco. Reduces the stun duration when cigars break free by 0.25 seconds. This is a B tier add-on. Strangely enough, I do not believe it combines with the cigar. So you cannot use both together to get a 1 second stun duration cooldown. You cannot do that. Otherwise, it might be a little higher. But on its own, you can't do the things that you can with cigar. You can't zone as well. But you can still feel a decent difference in your stun. And so for that reason, it's B tier, but it's not nearly as strong as the cigar. Next up, the Spit Polish Rag reduces cooldown and missed shots by 0.25 seconds. This one's also going to go B tier. It's better than the chewing tobacco, but it's not nearly as good as the tonal can. Though they are both really good add-ons. Like, you could interchange these two add-ons and you would feel a slight difference, but it wouldn't be like it wouldn't be massive enough for you to be like, man, I really need the tin oil can. You know what I mean? So next up we have the snake oil. Just go ahead and put that there where it belongs. Increases the reeling speed of the Redeemer by 2.5%. Just like the tooth, reeling speed add-ons do literally nothing for you. They are terrible. Do not use them. Rickety Chain grants 50% bonus blood points for speared scorpions. Increases the break free speed of survivors by 33%. This is an S tier. No, it's his worst add-on. Well, it's actually better than these two because at least you get 50% more blood points from using it. And then lastly, we have the ammo belt, which decreases your reload time by 0.25 seconds. This is an A tier add-on. Reload add-ons are good. What I would say is any combination of these top 5, or really any combination of like these 6. Like, these 6 here are gonna do you justice. Like, you'll get good games with these, no matter what combo you use. But as I said, I recommend Warden's Keys, Tin Oil Can for inexperienced players, even experienced players. I use these together sometimes. So, go ahead and give it a try. Next up, we're going to move on to his weapons. And I'm going to show you some of his weapons and why you shouldn't use one weapon versus why you should use another. So let's get right into it.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Here's what it looks like if you don't move your camera at all. Let me try not to hit. Nice. And then this time I'm gonna move my camera. I'm gonna move it up. You see how much more chain that I have after moving my camera up there? As a verse to not moving your camera at all. On this tile in particular, it's not gonna really, do anything for you because you'll get the hit either way. But on other tiles, on like Azerov's and even Coldwind, you can get hits simply by moving your camera and positioning your chain away from the obstacle, because your chain actually follows your camera. So let me try not to hit. There we go. Here's what it looks like if you don't move your camera at all. I'm gonna move it up. You see how much more chain that I have? Here's what it looks like if you don't move your camera at all. And go. So when a survivor is making like erratic movements and like dodging, the best thing for you to do is either M2 fake like I'm doing right now, and you see how much distance that the survivor lost right there, and now I can get the hit. So you can do that, or come back over here. We'll start this again. Or the other thing you can do, you see which way they dodge. Just like when you aim, you see which way they dodge, and then you'll want to like wait for them to dodge back into your shot. It's a lot easier when there's like an obstacle they're dodging into. So if they're dodging into like an obstacle, you know they have to come back out, otherwise they're gonna just run into stuff. And so you just aim where they have to run back into you. But if you notice the survivor always dodges to the right, let them dodge to the right and then shoot as they're on their way back to the left. Or if they're really good and they dodge like multiple times, all you have to do is you M2 fake, they'll dodge again, and then you can either shoot or just M1 them. Because all the survivor is doing when they dodge is losing distance, and hoping that you shoot and miss your shot, because missing a shot is more punishing for you than dodging is for them. You lose so much distance when you miss a shot as opposed to them just kind of moving left to right. So if you notice the survivor isn't looking back at you, all you have to do, shoot them, because they have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea if you're even aiming or what. Hopefully I explained that decently well. I'm sure that in your games, if you see a survivor doing that, M2 faking isn't fun. I don't like to do it. But against like good survivors that are constantly juking you back and forth, that's basically your only option, unless you're good at prediction shots and like just quick draw off the hip, shooting. And even that's risky, because if you miss, then you're giving a good survivor even more distance. So I'm going to show you guys the enduring tech that you can do. So basically you're going to want to shoot a survivor, and you're going to pull them slightly into the pallet. You're going to hit them. They're going to drop the pallet on you, and as they try to vault, you're just going to turn around and smack them. It's not 100% success rate. Sometimes they just leave, but if they leave, you have enduring, so probably die anyway. But yeah, that's a pretty cool thing you can do with Slinger. It works obviously on any killer, but you can almost force it with Death Slinger because you can pull them into a pallet and kind of entice them to break or to drop said pallet. So, thought that was pretty cool. Alright, and lastly, I wanted to show you guys this bug. I don't know when this became a thing, but essentially you can shoot through this wagon on the back of Saloon. So if they're standing at an angle like that, it's gonna validate your shot every time. Do it one more time. You see it is hitting the survivor, but it doesn't think it is.